Yeah, thank you very much, Russ. There's some debate as to the oldest professional football ground in the world. Many give that accolade to Bramall Lane because it's been hosting football since around 1862. But apparently Phil Mill staged its first football match back in 1861, and on the Quarry Lane stand away to our right-hand side, they proudly display a sign describing this as the oldest professional football ground in the world. Well, tonight it's rocking up an old-style atmosphere as well. Around about 8,000 expected in, the biggest crowd of the season, and actually the biggest crowd since the stand opposite us was last in full-time use. It now just hosts the television commentators and cameras, and it was last used, well, way back when these sides met in the playoffs. That's right, they have met in the playoffs before, many moons ago. We're going back to 2004, where they played each other over two legs, and it went to penalties on that occasion in that semi-final, and Mansfield got to the final having beaten Northampton on pens 5-4 and then lost to Huddersfield in the final, and Huddersfield gained promotion. That's one of the reasons why this is their fourth appearance, Mansfield, in the playoffs, but they have never been promoted. They finished 7th in the table, and in the last 10 years, on 5 occasions, the team who finished 7th have found themselves promoted. So history may be on their side this time round. It's an unchanged starting 11 for Nigel Clough's side from the team which drew here on the final day against Forest Green 2-2. Nathan Bishop is the goalkeeper. James Perch will play at right back, his 50th start for Mansfield today. John Joe O'Toole will play in the centre of midfield alongside Ollie Hawkins. John Joe O'Toole was a player with Northampton and made 173 league appearances there, scoring 33 goals in 5 years between 2014 and 2019. As I say, Hawkins is alongside him. He can play up front, but he will be playing at centre half today. All 6'4" of him. And Stephen McLaughlin will play at left back, where he's contributed 7 goals this season so far for Mansfield Town. In midfield, we've already talked extensively about Matty Longstaff on loan from Newcastle. 6 goals from him. George Maris and Stephen Quinn complete the midfield trio, with Jamie Murphy on the right, Jordan Barry on the left, and Rhys Oates ploughing a furrow down the middle. We've got Steck, Hewitt, Clark, Wallace, Sturck, Lapsley and Akins amongst the substitutes. As for Northampton Town, a 7th playoff appearance. Last time they were at this stage, of course, was 2019-20, when they managed to get promotion to League One. Relegated though last season, looking to bounce back immediately, and 2 changes for them. Liam Roberts, of course, absent through suspension. 21 clean sheets he's kept this season. He's one of the main reasons why they have the tightest defence in League Two. He's replaced in goal by John Maxted. Mills, Horsfall, Guthrie and Koicki will complete the back 4 for Northampton Town. McWilliams and Sowerby are the 2 holding midfielders, with Idris Kanu coming in to replace Josh Appiah, who's on the bench today, not fit enough to start. Mitchell Pinnock will play in that number 10 role. Sam Hoskins, the leading scorer, wide on the left-hand side, and Louis Appere, the Scotsman, will lead the line for Northampton Town. The referee today is Anthony Blackhouse. He takes the knee, and he's applauding. A round of applause from the Mansfield Town players, and a collective huddle from Northampton Town as we continue to battle and prove that there is no place for racial discrimination in our game. Just to complete the bench for Northampton Town, Charlie Woods is the young keeper who comes in. Michael Harriman, Pollock, Zimba, Appiah, Rose and Dyche as well. We're all ready to go. Anthony Blackhouse is the man who took charge when these sides met back in April. Just the 1 red card on that day for Paul Lewis, who's not been seen since for Northampton Town. But this is a feisty tie between these 2 sides. We've had 2 red cards in the last 3 encounters between them, and immediately Northampton are trying to get away down the right-hand side with Idris Kanu, who's on loan for Peterborough, and he wins a throw-in for Northampton Town on that right-hand side. They're in their traditional claret shirts and the white shorts and the claret socks, and it's the usual yellow and blue shirts, blue shorts and yellow socks for Mansfield Town. Here's the throw coming in from the right-hand side. Set pieces, a real plus for Northampton Town. It's a big, long, looping throw as well that has to be headed clear from the edge of the 6-yard box. They're going to look to try and deliver that ball in again with Mitchell Pinnock, the man with a long throw, but it spins out of play, and it's the first goal kick of the game for Nathan Bishop away to our left-hand side. Alongside me, a man who's known playoff glory, Matt Murray.
And heartache, and the glory's certainly a lot better. It's nothing worse when you have to stay behind longer than everybody else, and then you know you're going back to the same division. But if you do go up that way, for players it's brilliant, for clubs it's difficult to plan, and everything else, and the other teams have a march on them. But there's Nathan Bishop taking that long goal kick, and the Manchester United first team goalkeeper coach Richard Hart, as he's down below us, keeping tabs on him.
Rhys Oates with a really good header for Mansfield Town at the edge of the penalty area, and good pressure being applied down this right hand side from Jordan Bowery, and the ball does go out of play for what will be a goal kick away to our right hand side. It will be taken by Northampton Town, and John Maxted, who made 4 appearances in the League Cup and the EFL trophy earlier this season, and we know he's got experience, obviously having been an Exeter, Forest Green, Accrington over the years, but to come in cold like this is a real tough ask, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a real tough ask, and everyone's up to speed, fully up to speed, and for a goalkeeper you can do all your small-sided games, shooting drills, everything else. It's those distances, it's that understanding with your defensive unit, coming for crosses, things like that. So, but he's had his first touch now, he's taken that goal kick. What was interesting as well, Adam, is they swapped ends, didn't they? And I'd have thought that both teams would rather be attacking their fans in the second half usually, so I wonder I didn't see whose call that was. But an interesting one, and it doesn't look like all the Northampton fans are quite in yet, because again you'd have thought they'd have sold out their allocation. Looks like some fans are still filtering in.
Yeah, on social media the last couple of days you could still go and pick up tickets at close of play yesterday, and you could still buy online and do collections here today for the away support, but there are a few empty seats away to our left hand side. But you're right, there's a few filling in. They do have the entire stand. They could average in just over 5,000 here throughout the league campaign, but as I say, expecting 8,000, the biggest crowd since back when these sides met in the playoffs back in 2004. Throw down this left hand side for Northampton Town. It's going to be taken midway inside his own half here down this left, and it's going to be Ali Kowicki. Gets it forward towards halfway, where he manages to find Pinnock, but Pinnock's ball forward is really into no man's land. There's a chase on here from Aparai, but he's beaten to it. It's comfortably cleared away in the end down this right hand side by Perch. Chase on here as well. Fighting his way through his Rhys Oates, and the referee gives the free kick for the foul against Fraser Horsford, and that's going to be a free kick to Northampton Town about 10 yards outside their penalty area.
It's pretty clear that both teams are looking early on, not taking many risks, playing out from the back, trying to play balls in behind for their front men to chase, to turn the opposition. But listen to that that noise there again. I think it's been quite a lively start, no clear-cut chances. I think both managers will say, they're reasonably happy.
And we do expect these semi-finals to produce open games. I mentioned it earlier, 28 ties. That's the semi-finals over the last 7 years. 86 goals have been scored. I think it's around 50 in the ties in the championship. So these are far more open teams, far more attacking, and obviously the other semi-final features the leading scorers in the division this season. That's when Swindon take on Port Vale tomorrow lunchtime, and you can hear that right here on TalkSport 2. As you know, it's the only place that you can hear every single playoff semi-final and every single playoff final across the TalkSport network. Here come Mansfield down the right-hand side. Bowery wanted it, but the run is on down this near touchline by Oates towards the corner flag, and it's cleared away nicely that time by Kowicki. Just about kept in touch on this near side, just down below us, and controlled in the middle of the park that time by Sowerby, who flicks play out to the right-hand side. Kanu's there, poor first touch, and it's intercepted and brought forward this time by Jamie Murphy down that left-hand side. Here come Mansfield on the attack towards the edge of the penalty. Drills it across goal, and an outstretched boot of Rhys Oates is inches away from converting it, but he can't get a touch, and it's had a play for what will be a goal kick to Northampton Town.
Yeah, really good counter-attack there, good transition. The left-back bombing forward for Mansfield and whipping that ball. Was it a cross-come shot from McLaughlin there, but it was a really dangerous ball across, and Oates was inches away, wasn't he? If he had slightly longer studs or legs as long as mine, he might have converted that one. But that was the first real opportunity, but it was that transition. Northampton lost the ball, real quick break, and direct play, good opportunity, because if he can't any contact on that, it's a goal.
All the Southend man Stephen McLaughlin also been at Forest and Notts County, so he knows his way around this area, the Irishman. Born in Donegal, 7 goals so far this season as well in the league. He's certainly made a decent contribution to Mansfield Town's season from that left-back position, and almost made a really telling one in the opening 5 minutes of this playoff game here on TalkSport 2.
Do you think it was a shot?
I think he was putting it across. I think he was just playing it into that danger zone. It was right across the edge of that 6-yard area, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's a corridor of uncertainty where the keeper's not sure. Does he come?
And Oates was playing right on the shoulder. Be interesting if he'd have got a touch on it. Was he or wasn't he offside? Because he was right on the edge of it. But real positive play. But as you say, he's got 7 goals. That's a lot for a left back. But you can see that he's definitely a real supply chain going forward.
Oates himself hasn't scored in his last 6 games, so he'll be eager to get back to goal-scoring ways here for Mansfield. We've been playing for 6.5 minutes on TalkSport 2. Mansfield Town 0, Northampton Town 0. From the One Call Stadium and your home of the EFL, TalkSport 2. It's a throw for Mansfield on the far side, just short of halfway on the left, so it'll be taken by Stephen McLaughlin. Possession picked up though for Northants on halfway, but now Mansfield will break and come forward again. It's a decent ball forward that time by Stephen Quinn, the veteran, 36 years of age now, but Northampton now can counter down that right-hand side. Apare in that far corner. He thought he wanted side a throw, but the assistant has other ideas, and it'll be Mansfield right by the corner flag on that far touchline. In a bit of shadow, we've got some creeping over after what's been a beautiful day across the East Midlands, and at this moment in time the sun just beginning to set, but lovely blue skies. The lights are on, of course, the shadows are lengthening. It's a wonderful evening for football, and they'll be probably quite pleased they weren't playing in the red hot heat this afternoon when it was 22 degrees. Yeah,
it's perfect conditions. The sprinklers are on the pitch looks immaculate. This is for a goalkeeper, you love these conditions when it's dry and still, and it's conducive to a really, really good game. And as you say, the temperatures levels just dropped that little bit, and then it started at real intensity, hasn't it? A high tempo game. Apare is chasing everything. He looks like a really hard working centre forward. It's been a good even contest.
Yeah, it's still short sleeve weather, I'm pleased to say. You brought a cardigan with you, haven't you?
Yeah, just in case it drops a little.
I thought it was a Val Doonigan-esque cardigan you were rocking upon arrival. It's a lovely evening, as that's a foul in the middle of the park, and it's a fairly obvious one from George Maris that time. His challenge on Sam Hoskins, giving the free kick to Northampton Town, and the referee having a word as well. And I think actually George Maris may have hurt himself in the process there.
It's a sore one for him. He had a straight leg and it'll be a knee on knee, and he'll have to run it off. It's just that contact one. Going back to Quinn, like Aitkins, Quinn, those sort of players are players that Nigel Clough knows very, very well. And they'll be looking for composed, showing their experience, showing their leadership out there, managing this group. But this now, we talked about set pieces, it's quite straight. But let's see what they do here. You're holding a high line on the edge of the box, Mansfield. But this is about desire. Who wants it most? Northampton want a quality delivery. Can Mansfield hold that line? Dangerous position.
Hoskins is thinking about it. I think he's going to leave it. Mitchell Pinnock, no, he's not. It is Hoskins who tries to get it in. The first head goes up, and it was an attempted clearing head from Mansfield Town. They're going to get a second in, are they? No, it's nodded forward that time by John Guthrie, and it is eventually run out of play away to our left-hand side. They've got 17 goals between them, the two centre-halves in League Two. I mean, that's extraordinary for two centre-backs, isn't it?
It is, and that shows that the good deliveries go in there. These guys know what they're doing. They work on it on the training ground. But I think there's some big players in both teams here looking at it. Bowery looks a good size. Hawkins, as you say, good size up against these centre-halves. And what Mansfield will be happy with there, on that they got the first contact and the second contact, which is always important when set pieces come in the box. And I thought they held the line very, very well. But as you say, you've seen it in teams before, haven't you? Where I think it was Aidan Flint for a Bristol City side, scored a lot of goals, and he was a real threat. And centre-halves who score goals, and that's why I think for Horsfall, if Northampton don't go up, there'll be teams looking at him. He's on a free at the end of the year. Teams will be definitely looking at him with that goal threat.
One of the reasons as well, I think, while Mansfield have got Ollie Hawkins at centre-half, he's dangerous. Oh, that's a rasping effort. A real hit from Louis Apparai from 25 yards on the half volley, and it has to be palmed away well by Nathan Bishop away to his right-hand side, and it's going to be a corner for Northampton Town.
Yeah, so now we talk about the threat, but good goalkeeping from Bishop, but great clean strike, but Bishop saw it all the way, got two strong hands to it. They expect him to save from there, but that's our first effort on goal.
Another set piece here for Northampton Town to cause danger. 26 goals from set pieces. That doesn't include penalties, and that one skipped all the way through the 6-yard box, but it's eventually cleared. Good pressure there from Rhys Oakes to win it back here for Mansfield. Now they slip it out wide down that left-hand side. Now the counter on once more. Again, it's Stephen McLaughlin going forward, midway inside the Northampton Town half, and the ball goes out of play, and it's going to be a throw for Northampton Town midway inside their own territory. 11 minutes gone on TalkSport 2. It's 0-0.
That was a good in-swinging ball, that wasn't it? It just whipped in. It's too low for the goalkeeper to come. Just evaded everyone, but that was into a dangerous area, in-swinging, very hard to defend, and in the end Mansfield did do well, and then they looked to a counter-attack with real purpose. Again, it was McLaughlin breaking, but credit Northampton for those recovery runs to get back in behind the ball.
Kanu on the chase here down that right-hand side, not going to get there, comfortably gathered by Nathan Bishop, and loan from Manchester United. 14 clean sheets in the league this season for Mansfield Town, not quite matching up to the 21 that Liam Roberts managed in the goal for Northampton away to our right-hand side, where of course he's absent today following that red card. Trying to get it forward that time was Abdullahi towards the edge of the penalty area. Lovely turn by Hoskins. He's very dangerous from set pieces, as Hoskins, as well as being Northampton Town's leading scorer. Out wide on this left-hand side. Ball taken infield nicely from Kazicki, and he manages to find Horswall again. It's back this time with Maxted, who launches it forward, comfortably headed clear that time by Hawkins, and it's into touch on the far side for another Northampton Town throw, just short of halfway, and just started to find their feet here, Northampton Town, haven't they?
Yeah, definitely, and that strike from distance from Apre was a really, it was a speculative effort, wasn't it? Just to think, well, ambitious if you like, but that shows the confidence of him. But then they've a couple of set pieces as well, so yeah, definitely Brady will be probably at the moment thinking, yeah, I'm not happy with the two managers, but when you do have these spells, you want to make them count and get that goal.
Well, their record here is not the best, and that's for sure. They haven't won on their last 8 league visits to the one court, and they're under pressure here now. Oh, lovely slip ball through here for Oates with a chance to shoot, tight angle, and through Maxted's legs and in, and Rhys Oates opens the scoring for Mansfield Town. They lead the way at the One Court Stadium. Oates is into double figures for the season. It's his 10th league goal, and it's through the keeper's legs. And what a finish it was from wide on this right-hand side. We've been playing for 13 minutes, and it's Mansfield Town 1, Northampton Town 0.
And you talk about this being a very good defensive unit of Northampton. Maxted will think from that angle it's gone through him, but it's a difficult one for a goalkeeper because he's not done much wrong. He stood and said, go and beat me. Rhys Oakes has bought him at a tight angle. I'm just going to go hard and low, kiss the grass, hit the floor, you score. That's what they say, and it's horrible for goalkeepers because it's in and around your feet. If it doesn't hit you, and how many times you see a goalkeeper beat him like that through their legs. Maxted, as I say, he stood, tried to transfer the pressure, but Rhys Oakes said, what pressure, hard and low, great goal. And we're just saying that Northampton probably have their best spell, hadn't scored, but every time there was that turnover, that transition, you felt Mansfield looked dangerous. Really good weight of pass, didn't have to check his stride, and just said, go on, do what you want, and he hit it hard and low. Great goal, and listen to the noise here.
Well, we said he hasn't scored in his previous 6, so he's got that one away, and 10 in the league now for the season. You start including the playoffs in that league tally. He also scored in a couple of cup competitions as well. It was a really crisp strike as well. And Maxted beaten in the opening exchanges here. How can they respond? Pinnock to Kanu at the back post. He couldn't really get anything on it, and it just dribbles into the hands of Nathan Bishop away to our left hand. So we talked pre-game about how Northampton Town responded from the heartache on the final day, conceding an early goal. Probably the last thing you want to happen, isn't it?
Well, I was just going to say that to Adam. Now this is a test. We were wondering how they were. Are they fragile? Are they feeling sorry for themselves? This is a test. The next few minutes now, can you stay in the game, or are you going to get, Mansfield are going to go and get a second? So it's all about the reaction.
And here they come, but the pass into the Mansfield half is picked up by George Maris, who's over halfway around the centre circle. He finds Matty Longstaff out wide to this right-hand side. They stride forward again this time with O'Toole. Lovely ball inside the penalty area. Bowery's going to try and keep it in, but it's going to run out of play, and it will be a goal kick away to our right-hand side. John Joe O'Toole, 499th league appearance today, 33 years of age. There's a few more to come from him in that Mansfield side, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, he'll be hoping he gets over the 500 mark, because he's got the second leg and then the final is what he'll be looking for. And he's had a very, very good career. He's been around a long time. Good pro. Every now and again can lose his cool. He's had a few red cards in the locker, I'm sure. Memory serves me well. But yeah, look, he's been good, he's been experienced, but I haven't seen a replay of the goal, but just wonder where the fullback was. How was Rhys Oakes able to get in so easily and be in that gap? And Northampton, from their point of view, will be disappointed that there was no one anywhere near him to get that challenge in, to give him that opportunity. And when you do turn the ball over, you shouldn't be out of balance like that, because one pass that just set Oakes through, but that will be doing him a world of good. And you say he got a few games without scoring, even though he's a leading goal scorer. Good hard and low finish, and now these Mansfield, these home fans they're right behind their team.
He scored 9 in 18 prior to that, so a pretty good one every other game. Yeah. On the subject of O'Toole and his red cards, he got 4 in his time at Northampton Town, so in the 5 years, and he did get one earlier this season as well, and that came against I think it was Newport he actually got sent off against. Header away from about 10 yards outside the penalty area is by Horsfall, but he was fouled in the process, and it's a free kick to Northampton Town, 15 yards outside their own penalty area. We've had 17 minutes. It's Mansfield 1, Northampton 0 from the One Call Stadium on your home of the EFL TalkSport Tour. Reminder over on TalkSport, it's been a long old afternoon at Wembley Stadium, but Liverpool victorious in the FA Cup final 6-5 on penalties against Chelsea as Maxted clears. Rare occasion Northampton looked to play it out from the back and they almost got caught, but Idris Kanu on that far side is putting the pressure on, but McLaughlin's done well in the left back position for Mansfield. He defends it nicely and the free kick goes Mansfield's way, level with the edge of their own penalty area. Lots of more live football coming up across the TalkSport network from midday tomorrow. A couple of exclusive Premier League commentaries for you. In fact, there's 3 in total. We've got Spurs against Burnley. That's getting us underway at midday with Clive Tilsley and Scott Minto in charge on that one. That's followed by Leeds against Brighton. Ian Danter and Nicky Gray with a huge game for Leeds United. Plus on the TalkSport app you can listen to Villa against Crystal Palace as well. If you haven't got the app, just download and you can swipe across through the live games to find that one. And also tomorrow afternoon we'll have updates for you on West Ham, Man City and Wolves against Norwich as well on a busy afternoon of Premier League football. Here's Kanu sniffing a ball through to Hoskins at the edge of the penalty area, but he can't get there because of really good goalkeeping away to our left-hand side by Nathan Bishop, who collected that at the edge of the box. Yeah, because when you saw that pass, I thought it was excellent movement from Hoskins. Sometimes the run makes the pass look like good weight of pass as well. It had to be played at that pace, but it was the anticipation from Nathan Bishop. And they're the moments I talk about, that when you have 46 games, you played every minute of the league games, and you played all those games plus the cup on top of it, they're those decisions where Maxted maybe might find that a little bit more difficult because he hasn't been out there. So that was really, really good goalkeeping to come and gather right at the edge of the box. If he gets that wrong at all, Hoskins is in. It could be a penalty, could be, bring him down if he goes just outside the box and be sent off. So very, very good goalkeeping there. A long clearance from Maxted, but nothing doing for Northampton Town, who find themselves a goal down here 19 minutes into the first leg of this playoff semi-final. As we mentioned, coming back from that heartbreak on that final day, despite going up to Barrow and getting a good win, was always going to be a challenge. 80 points last season, they've got you second place, so the points tally is phenomenal, but there's only 3 points between the teams in the playoff. It is ridiculous. It was like that all season, wasn't it? Teams won a couple and they went like right down the table, lost a couple, went right down the table, won a couple and they went up right up into the automatic promotion. It was a crazy table. It looked like Forest Green had been home and dry for a long time, and then they got stuck right into it and only won a title on the last game of the season here. So it's been such a tight league, some very good coaches, contrasting styles of football, different budgets, but it's been so exciting, and as you say, it was so tight. Northampton though, I think they've done okay here, because when they conceded that goal, like you said, how are they going to react, and they've just weathered it, and now the game's settled back down and they're doing fine again. Well, they haven't actually lost the game since the tie here on April the 2nd, when they were beaten by a goal to 0. It was home victories all round when these two sides met during the regular league campaign. Bit of shirt putting there on Apparai that time from Ollie Hawkins, but the referee sees nothing in it, and Northampton will try and come again as a game of head tennis ensues just inside the Mansfield town half as they shifted out to this right-hand side. Ali Kariki will come forward for Northampton Town from the left-back position. He's 10 yards inside Mansfield territory. Just falls over the ball inside the centre circle. That time did Sean McWilliams, and the free kick's gone Mansfield's way inside the centre circle, much to McWilliams' disgust. And it's exactly on halfway. And the referee is going to have a word as well here, I think. Well, he's calling over Kariki for a chat, it would appear. And Kariki's very reluctant to step forward.
Okay. I think he was going to say he got the wrong one. I was thinking that, was he?
It was definitely Sean McWilliams who made the challenge. As we mentioned, he's been here since a youth player, and there's the first booking of the game.
Yeah, he just overran it, didn't he? Jumped into it, no more than that, caught him. The referee looked at it and thought, do I play the advantage? No, I'll bring it back. But what's been noticeable as well is how hard Bowery's working. He's there and he's a focal point, but also and pushing these big centre halves around. But he's tracking back in, he's dropping in, he's making a block. He's very, very hard working out of possession.
I remember seeing him at Villa back in 2012 when he went there. Didn't quite work out for him when he joined from Chesterfield, and he's not really found a home until he came here to Mansfield. Jordan Bowery, that was in June 2020, 41st appearance of the season tonight, and you can see why. Grafting hard for Nigel Clough's side. On halfway, there's Mitchell Pinnock flicking it over his head. The header away is a decent one that time that comes from O'Toole. Breaks down towards halfway where it's helped on by Hoskins, and Louis Apparay is after this one, but it will be gathered quite comfortably by Nathan Bishop again, who's commanding his area away to our left-hand side as we reach the midway point of the first half here on TalkSport 2. You're listening to Mansfield Town 1, Northampton Town 0 in the League 2 playoffs, live on TalkSport 2 with McDonald's Fun Football. Search McDonald's Fun Football to find out more. Here's McWilliams forward for Northampton Town on that far side. Finds Kanu, who's just forced back inside and out once more. One of the two changes to this Northampton Town lineup. The man on load from Peterborough, not really made a huge impact since he arrived. His 7th appearance, 5 of those have been as a substitute. As a left-footed ball is popped down the line by Guthrie. You just hate his hamstring as he played that ball with his left foot, and the chase was on for Ali Kariki, but he couldn't get there, and again it will be a goal kick for Mansfield Town away to our left-hand side.
Yeah, I just feel the balls forward from Northampton, not that much quality going forward, a little bit forced, but I think some of that is because of the pressure and the defending from the front that Mansfield are doing. So it's a bit of both. I think the distance between the Mansfield units are good. They're squeezing the pitch well. They're able to get the pressure on Northampton. And then from Northampton, can they show that little bit more composure and play for a bit more quality?
Here's Kanu, just over halfway. Now he comes infield, striding out, just picking the ball through to Pinnock, but Pinnock had moved and wasn't really working. Longstaff picks it up for Mansfield, out wide on his right-hand side. He finds the experienced Perch, the Mansfield captain. Now down the right, it's the goal scorer, Oates. Oates driving through the middle, just tries to flick it on towards Bowery. Had gone to fill that slot just out through the centre of the penalty area. Good play from McWilliams here. It's done brilliantly. Slips it through to Pinnock. He's fouled. Referee plays the advantage. Pinnock now towards the edge of the penalty area. Kanu's outside him. He's forced back inside, and it's McWilliams who picks it up again at the edge of the centre circle. To the left comes Kariki, looking for support, which he gets infield from Mitchell Pinnock again. And inside the centre circle, they'll have it with Forceful once more. And he's just closed down by the hard work of Rhys Oates on that occasion. And Northampton Town just having a moment of possession, but not really forcing the situation. They've just tried to move it wide to the right-hand side to Mills. Well, that's a poor first touch from Horsfall, and he almost got caught in possession on halfway. Instead, he manages to get it away to Sowerby. Down that right-hand side, Kanu. Now a chance maybe to cut inside to Hoskins, who does brilliantly to keep control of possession, despite having two Mansfield players around him. Apparay on that far side. Now going down the right towards the byline. He's done well. Burst of pace. Cuts it across. He was looking to find Pinnock in the 6-yard box. but it's put behind well by O'Toole, and it'll be a corner on that right-hand side for Northampton Town. That's better.
That is, because lots of controlled possession, like you said. When Mitch Pinnock initially got it in that final third, I thought, oh, what are you going to go and do? But credit Mansfield, they got back in the shape. But Northampton didn't panic. They passed it around, got some good spell, and then suddenly changed up the tempo. Good ball in, decent play by Apparay, but good defending. But another set piece now that's going to be whipped in.
And it will, and it's Pinnock who's going to deliver it from that far side left footed towards that back post. It's nodded down that time by John Guthrie, but didn't quite get the purchase he wanted. It just bounces up into the arms of Nathan Bishop.
Yeah, and then Nathan Bishop's looking, should he release the ball early? No, so he set his team up to play out, but that was better from Northampton. That's what they like to do. Guthrie pulled to the back post, but didn't really get that much contact on it. A bit more pace, he could have either looped it back over the Mansfield goalkeeper or put it back into some more of the bodies, but a lucky escape there from Mansfield, because you don't want to let first contacts happen against you.
Thoughts of the former Wolves keeper Matt Murray down the left hand side, long ball for Mansfield Town. The referee's going to give the free kick, as you know, he's given the corner. It was a long ball that picked out the run that had been made on that far side by Stephen Quinn. And it's a corner for Mansfield on their left. And an opportunity for them now to send the likes of O'Toole forward. And also Ollie Hawkins, who will be a real danger here.
Yeah, Hawkins is the target man. I've seen him score goals here before. Big threat.
No surprise. He's gone straight on the keeper. As that swung into that 6-yard box, and that's really good from Maxted, who gathered it, punched it away really nicely. Carney's fouled and has got the free kick midway inside Northampton Town's half, but Maxted really controlled his area there, didn't he, and showed he was boss. Yeah,
so Hawkins is a big guy, 6'4", 6'5", went straight and stood on the goalkeeper, in-swinging ball on him, and those are the sort of things that settle you down as a keeper. Who's very positive, very assertive, good punch, dangerous area, and that will settle him right down, as I say, and that's a big test passed, if you like.
Mansfield still leading here by a goal to nil. 27 and a half minutes played. Down this left-hand side, it's going to be a throw-in again for Northampton Town, midway inside their own half. Derrick is going to take it. And he's looking at the options available to him, and there aren't too many going forward. In fact, he just throws it to the head of James Perch, who gets it into the centre circle, and Mansfield will stride forward over halfway again. McLaughlin showing that pace down that left hand side, goes for an early ball in, looking for the goal scorer. Oates inside the penalty area, just over his head, comes out the edge of the box on this near side. Longstaff is there, feeds it back to Perch. Probably about 30 yards from goal, gives that one infield, and now they're just trying to probe their way forward here with Maris. Out again to Perch on this right hand side. Longstaff is down the line, doesn't come to him, comes back to Maris. Maris then just gets it into the edge of the box where Bauer is waiting, holds it up, muscled out of it by McWilliams brilliantly, and now there's a good counter on. Sowerby here for Northampton Town. It's 3 against 3 in parts if they can find the right ball. Sowerby tries to slid it through to Pinnock, has gone ahead of him, gets it the second attempt to Hoskins. Oh, lovely back heel. Apparay's on here, is he? No, he's not. The offside flag's gone up, and he will be stopped in his tracks, and it will be a free kick for Mansfield Town.
So as you say, 3v3, and looked like then good interception, well read by Hawkins. He got the ball back, kept it alive, and that'll be really interesting, because I'm not sure if the far fullback was in line or not, but the linesman puts his flag up. If that's the Premier League, they 100% let that continue, let the action finish, and then they go back and watch it in VAR. So I think that was a lot tighter, in my opinion, from where it is, but we're not in line.
We're not, but I thought he looked okay as well. Yeah. It looked tight.
The fullback on the other side looked like he was level, but the linesman's there, that's what they're paid to do. But that was a good break, wasn't it? Really good counter-attack.
Free header. He's won this time, and it's a good header from Horsford. Too much on it in the end, though, and it's nodded safely back into the arms of Bishop away to our left-hand side. As well as all that Premier League action tomorrow, we've obviously got the other semi-final of the League 2 playoffs. That's between Swindon and Port Vale. That gets underway at midday here on TalkSport 2 tomorrow, and that's followed by the Women's FA Cup final. We've had the men today at Wembley tomorrow. Over 55,000, which will be a record crowd, are expected to see Chelsea against Manchester City. Adrian Dunn, Sam Matterface and Lucy Ward will be with you for that one tomorrow lunchtime. Here's Pinnock hitting one from all of 35 yards that was blocked by Longstaff. and it comes to McWilliams now down this left-hand side. Opportunity for Kawicki maybe to try and get a ball into the box, but he gives it back to McWilliams on his right foot. This time he's going to run it into the feet of Hoskins. Out to the left again for Kawicki, and they try and work it down this left-hand touchline, but Matty Longstaff's persistence forces that one back inside, and now they give possession away. Can Mansfield Town break here? Possibly with Oates as he goes through the centre, but he tried to play a ball through to the advancing run that was coming down that left-hand side by Jamie Murphy, but there was too much on the pass, and Northampton Town can sweep up at the back. Half an hour played on TalkSport 2. You're home of the EFL. It's Mansfield 1, Northampton Town 0. Here come Mansfield again. Down that left-hand side, McLaughlin. Out to Murphy. McLaughlin goes down for a bit of afters. The referee says play on because they still have possession, and they're forced back inside their own half. And the pressing will be done here by Apparay, but he's just saying to the rest of his teammates, you need to come and help me.
Yeah, he's saying, look, I'm going, you got to come with me, and they weren't there, so they played around him a little bit. Some of this forward, I like Reece Oates the way he drops in pockets, and they're quite fluid, aren't they, this front line of Mansfield, and play some good stuff.
Bowery is certainly a handful, but you do see when Oates moves out to the right, Bowery will go and fill that spot in the middle, as McWilliams has now dropped in between the two centre halves and placed that forward for Northampton Town. Apparay on that far side tried to get there. Kanu will pick up the loose ball, and they'll try to come again through the centre this time towards Hoskins, who is always busy and charging in from either flank. He seems to have a bit of a free roll, actually, if anything, to Sam Hoskins. But possession has been picked up once more by the home side, who lead here by a 0-0. Nigel Clough's team. Nigel Clough, of course, has experienced the playoffs with Sheffield United. Oh, that's a lovely ball out wide to that left-hand side. Murphy, edge of the penalty area, 12 yards out from goal. Cuts onto his left foot, drills it across, and it's an easy goal for Bowery, who slots it into the back of the net to give Mansfield Town a 2-0 advantage. It was wonderful play by Murphy on the left-hand side. He took his time, he got to the byline, and he played it right across the six-yard box. And at the back post, there was Jordan Bowery with his 9th league goal of the season, and he gives the Stags a 2-0 advantage. 32 minutes on the clock. It's Mansfield 2, Northampton 0.
Yeah, massive moment. But that ball to Murphy was absolutely fantastic. Then I thought, is he going to play the ball to Quinn? Quinn just stayed out the way, left him alone. Murphy, good defending from Northampton away, show him on the outside, try and make the play predictable. But Murphy went, yeah, I'll go on the outside and I'll drill that ball into a dangerous area. But that again, where is the fullback for Northampton tucking round on the other side? Because the ball gets whipped across. When you work on it all the time, this is meant to be one of the best defences in the EFL. And why are you not tucked in? You are defending that big rectangle. You work on it all the time. There should be a fullback tucked in at the back post. It had time to get there, but from a Mansfield point of view, massive moment. And Bowery, who has put himself about, he's worked so hard, he deserves that. And there's nothing better for a striker when he's 3-4 yards out and he can just tap the ball into the empty net. Goalkeeper, no chance. Brilliant play from Mansfield, and they are seriously in the driving seat now.
His goal against Forest Green was his first in 11, but he's on target again today for Mansfield, and they have a precious 2-goal advantage, as we saw when Wickham took that 2-goal lead to MK Dons. Very rarely do 2-goal leads get overturned. It's a massive position of strength, and it's probably why Forest this afternoon and Steve Cooper was not agitated but a little dejected that they got pegged back to 2-1, because they had such control. And 2-0 here is a wonderful scoreline for Mansfield. Yeah,
at the moment it's amazing, and obviously they're only just over half an hour in, but they've started really, really well. But I feel that this Northampton team, they could, they're there for the taking. They can go and get another one every time they go forward. I think they look very good defensively, Mansfield, but when they go forward, they look like they've got real intent.
Lovely turn by Oates again. He's away down that left-hand side, now cutting into the edge of the box, drills the shot, and it's low and to the right of Maxted's goal. Never troubling him really, but Oates, I mean, he created that for himself just by turning the defender. Brilliant.
And he's a bit Harry Kane-esque at times, the way he comes deep sometimes, finds himself, like he's meant to be playing for the middle, but he's got that bit out on the left, twist turns, he's powerful, he can run at the defenders, but I still feel he got a rush of blood there. He had Murphy bombing on the outside, he had Bowery up with him, Quinn up with him. It was the wrong option, and the bodies though flooding forward. And like I said, I think Mansfield will think we can go and get a third. We can get a third before half time. 2-0, like you said, is a massive scoreline. If they can get 3 before half time, then it could near enough be tie over.
Well, there's 10 minutes or so to go to half-time here on TalkSport 2, your home of the EFL. Of course, the TalkSport Network, the only place you can hear every single playoff semi-final and the finals, of course, the first of which is coming up next Saturday at Wembley between Sunderland and Wycombe. That game live on TalkSport next Saturday afternoon, the 21st. Final day of the Premier League season, of course, on the Sunday, but plenty more before that. In fact, playoff football every day between now and then up to Thursday. We've got Huddersfield Luton, that second leg, that's one apiece. That's live on TalkSport on Monday night. On Tuesday night, it's Nottingham Forest against Sheffield Wednesday. It finished 2-1 to Forest today at Bramall Lane, of course, having been 2-0 up and very much on top. On Wednesday night, we've got Rangers against Eintracht Frankfurt, live from Seville with Adrian Durham, Jim Proudfoot and Charlie Adam, the former Rangers midfielder, of course. They'll be out in Seville for that one. And of course, we've also got here on TalkSport 2 the second leg of this tie. However it's going to end up, as Matt just said, it could be game over by then, who knows. And then on Thursday night, it's the second leg of Swindon against Port Vale at Vale Park here on TalkSport 2, because we'll have live Premier League action for you on TalkSport. What a week of football across the TalkSport network. 9 minutes to go in this first half. What can Northampton Town do here? They've got a throw level with the edge of the penalty area down that right hand side. Pinnock's going to float it in towards the edge of that 6-yard box. There was a little shove, I think, as that was headed out of play easily by Stephen Quinn, who's probably one of the shortest players on the pitch. But it is going to be a corner for Northampton. They need a goal before half time, really. That would settle the nerves. Pinnock on that far side to take this left-footed, swings it in towards the near post. Quinn again is the player that gets up and wins the header at the near post, and then a couple of touches on this near side off Hawkins, and it will be another throw for Northampton Town, and it will once more be Mitchell Pinnock who makes the run from the right, this time to the left, to take this throw level with the edge of the penalty area. So far, they've looped it in towards the near post. This time, this one's more towards the penalty spot. And again, it comes out to Pinnock on this near side. It's been easily dealt with by Mansfield Town. They look well drilled in dealing with these long throws and set pieces from the visitors. That's a decent flick on down the right. Hoskins towards the byline, can't get there as Stephen McLaughlin gets it away towards halfway once more. It's helped forward this time by Sowerby. And it's going to go into touch for a Northampton Town throw on the far side, just short of halfway.
Yeah, I agree. They know how far this long throw's going, but they are set up well. They're filling the area as well, and then they're just showing that desire. They've only got eyes for the ball, and they want to go and win it. And Nigel Clough would have said, look, you played against them twice. You know what they're about. You've watched your videos. You know there's such a threat. So it's about now being in positions, communicating well. It's about desire. You want it more than them, and so far Mansfield has stood up to all these balls coming into the box.
Bowery loses possession. That's gone down the right hand side. His Apparai towards the touchline, and he just runs it out of play. And the ironic cheers are from the Mansfield fans around us, and those supporters who've made their way to our left hand side in that Northampton Town stand. There are still a few empty seats. They've clearly not sold all the tickets for the journey up the M1 this evening, but so far they're all on their feet, but they're not looking very happy, and you can understand why. 38.5 minutes played on TalkSport 2. It's 2-0 to Mansfield in the first leg of this League 2 playoff. Here's Bishop with the goal kick away to our left-hand side for Nigel Clough's side. Bowery goes up and wins the header, but it just falls down and is cleared away that time by Guthrie. A little chip over the top for Oates to chase onto here. Guthrie's there and has to deal with it because Oates was closing him down. And Kawicki flips it into touch for a throw to Mansfield Town, which Perch will take.
Done well there, Guthrie, because his goalkeeper did start to come and have seen him out the corner of his eye, but he took no chances, and he cleared it to a very, very good area. And they're the little decision-making things I was talking about earlier.
Perch into Bowery, the scorer of the second. Here's Longstaff. First touch wasn't great. Lost possession of it at the edge of the penalty area. Kanu tries to break. Easily dispossessed, though. That time by McLaughlin, the left-back, who was just outside the edge of the centre circle. He gets himself out of the way and now gives it to Perch down this right-hand side. Here's Bowery. Longstaff goes ahead of him. Bowery charging down this right-hand touchline. Really good challenge that time, though, from Shane McWilliams, who's done brilliantly. Gets it into the edge of the penalty area where Guthrie can then get it clear. But again, it's nodded forward by John Joe O'Toole, and McWilliams again tries to win it back in the middle of the park. Here's Quinn from Mansfield though, to the right hand side, level with the edge of the penalty area. Bowery into Quinn, lay off to Bowery once more, edge of the box with Maris. Now down the right it's Perch, looking to go early as he know they're working it into the box. Brilliant from Perch, chips it, too much on it. I think he was shooting there just over the top of the keeper.
Yeah, I think he was in two minds because that intricate play was brilliant. Because I thought McWilliams had done a couple of brilliant bits of defensive work, good desire, good composure, but Mansfield won it back, and Perch, great combination. And then I think he was trying to whip that ball with that bit of curl, but then he's not got it to bend back and gone well over the bar. But good positive play, and they are sensing that third goal.
Sean McWilliams is, I would say, the standout player for Northampton Town so far, isn't he? He's looking very busy, but he's ending up doing more defensive work, isn't he?
He is, and he got that yellow card, didn't he? And I just felt there when he overran that ball, he knew I'm on a yellow and he couldn't quite go into it. But yeah, he's having to do a lot of work going back towards his own goal. Brilliant slide tackle there, then the composure to play. But that's because credit Mansfield, but I feel that Idris Kanu just breaking down on him a little bit. He said he hasn't started many games, he's coming to the side, he's getting in that pocket, he's losing it, but at the moment is McLaughlin's winning it back all the time, and that's why there's been such a turnover, and Northampton will probably feel that this want half time to come.
He made 5 appearances for Peterborough in the Championship this season before coming out on loan. Did Idris Kanu. He's been out before as well at Port Vale and Boreham Wood too, since he joined Peterborough. He's a chance here, maybe inside the penalty area, but Bishop's going to gather that. It was high in the air, probably around 14 yards out from his goal line, and Kanu was the closest player to it, but it was always incredibly comfortable for Nathan Bishop, 6'1", the Mansfield keeper. It's in the centre circle with Northampton Town, and with Pinnock playing in that number 10 role, wearing the number 11 shirt on this left-hand side. Kawicki, infield he goes, where it's picked up well this time by Sowerby and forced back all the way to Guthrie by the press that's being operated here by Mansfield. Now a chance for Guthrie to get it forward. Kanu wants it into space, but instead he goes to the left. Kawicki just short of halfway. Infield he comes, got options forward, and he goes to Apparai in the end. He just loses possession, and now a chance for Maris to set Mansfield away down that left-hand side. It's Murphy, goes down by 2, gives it back to McLaughlin, who's steaming through, but he runs in the middle of the park to a challenge from Sowerby, and the second challenge from Sowerby is penalised by the referee, and that will be a free kick for Mansfield, 10 yards inside the Northampton Town half. We are into the last 2.5 minutes of the first half. Mansfield leading 2-0. Here's the former Wolves keeper Matt Murray.
Yeah, no complaints from Sowerby there. He knew it was a foul, nothing more than that. Be interesting to see, do Mansfield deliver this into the big boys who have come up from the back, O'Toole and Hawkins. I just feel for Northampton now, just thinking we've got into a few dangerous positions, but I can't think of Nathan Bishop having a serious save to make. Yes, the effort from 25 yards, but apart from that, he hasn't really been tested.
Here's the free kick. McLaughlin swings it towards the back post, and no surprise it's headed over by Hawkins, but there is the offside flag up. Ollie Hawkins with a free header on that occasion. A reminder, Monday morning at 6 o'clock, looking back on what's going to be another huge weekend of sport, will be the TalkSport Breakfast Show with the award-winning Laura Roods alongside Ali McCoyston. Jamie O'Hara's on the show on Monday morning from 8 o'clock as well. So if it's not part of your usual morning routine, but you want to have a listen to some friends having a real laugh and talking about the very best sporting action, then make sure you're with TalkSport Breakfast from 6 o'clock on Monday morning. Ali, I suspect will be incredibly nervous with the Rangers game around the corner on Wednesday night.
Always part of my routine, that is. I love it. On the school run and the nursery run, and then there's simply the best quiz. It's brilliant.
There you go, an endorsement from Matt Murray. What else do you need? He doesn't endorse goalkeeping gloves, he endorses breakfast shows. That's the way forward. A minute to go in the first half on TalkSport 2. It remains 2-0 to Mansfield. A half to forget for Northampton Town, and well, it'll be intriguing to see what John Brady can do to rally his side at half time, because they've very much been second best here. But again, in terms of chances, I mean, not too many more that Mansfield have created, but they've taken the two very clear and obvious ones that they had. They're under pressure now, but again, the pass just too much on it from Sowerby. He was trying to find Kanu on that far side, but out of play for a throw.
Yeah, as you say, they've been clinical. couple of other positions maybe when Oates decided to shoot, or there with that Perch one that went just over. But all in all, yeah, they're the ones who've taken their chances, shown that more composure when they got into that area and put some dangerous balls in and finished them well, got bodies into the area. But I'm sure at half-time Nigel Clough will say, don't sit back, keep going, because it's so hard, and you never know why as a player suddenly you start sticking back and protecting what you got. You see it all the time, don't you?
2 minutes of added time then being put in by the referee at the end of this first half. Our assistant Simon Mather is the fourth official down below. He signals the 2 minutes, and there's a chance for Northampton Town maybe to try and grab a lifeline in this game before the break. It's with Guthrie into the feet of McWilliams, right-footed ball on that far side. First time we've seen Joseph Mills get forward here for Northampton Town. Into Kanu inside the penalty area. First touch just takes him towards the corner flag, and second touch just finds on that far side Mills again, who gets the crossover with that left foot of his. He's usually a left back playing at right back, and it just showed there with that delivery with his left foot. It was exceptional, but no one on the end of it. Yeah,
because he, as you say, he's a left footer playing on the right side. He was able to touch it and whip it in like that. But good defending from Perch, because he went with the man. It's the man that will score the goal, not the space, and he recognised, I've got to go with my man there and just use his body just to usher him out of it. There was no one else coming in behind him. Good awareness, and Nigel Clough will just want to get his side in. Nathan Bishop will hit this ball as far as he can. But yeah, that was good play. But as you say, Mills hasn't got forward. McLaughlin's got forward loads for Mansfield. You haven't seen Mills get forward at all in that fullback role.
We've had a minute of the two that have been added, and the referee gives a free kick to Northampton Town, but it's taken in completely the wrong place, and Anthony Blackhouse will wait and wants it taken from the right spot, which is about 5 or 6 yards further back. They've actually now taken it even further forward, and the referee's having none of it. Pinnock's going to take it, and the referee is making him take it back to where the assistant is, where the offside was given in the first place.
I'm sure Nigel Clough has probably added to that from the side.
Last 10 seconds of the first half. Pinnock's long ball forward is well defended on that left-hand side, and once more it's the 6'4" of Ollie Hawkins. It gets up to head it away, and we've had the 2 minutes of time added on. It will be a throw-in on that far side to Mansfield Town, level with the edge of their own penalty area, and you feel that will probably be the last action of the first half. Throw on that far side with McLaughlin, has been very impressive in the opening period, and there is the half-time whistle at the One Call Stadium then, and a beautiful night in Mansfield. It's been the very best of nights so far for the home side, Mansfield Town. Oates giving them the lead after 13 minutes. It was doubled by Bowery just past the half-hour mark, and a first half that's been dominated by Mansfield Town. They've had the best of the opportunities, and they find themselves 2 goals to the good. Half-time at the One Call Stadium. It's Mansfield Town 2, Northampton Town 0. Thank you very much, Ross. The teams are out for the start of the second half, and it looks like it's as you were. No changes. I'm sure there may have been some temptation in the mind of John Brady, the Northampton Town boss, bearing in mind they're 2 goals down, but it's Bishop in goal for Mansfield, Perch, O'Toole, Hawkins and McLaughlin across the back, Longstaff, Maris and Quinn in midfield, with Murphy and the 2 goal scorers Oates and Bowery up front for Mansfield Town. As for Northampton Town, it's Maxted in goal, Mills, Horsfall, Guthrie and Kawicki. It's McWilliams and Sowerby, and then it's Kanu, Pinnock and Hoskins, with Aparai leading the line. Plenty of options on the bench for both sides as well. In terms of Mansfield Town, you may expect to see Ollie Clark at some point, and maybe George Lapsley too, as they look to enhance their 2-goal lead. As for Northampton Town, well, we know Josh Apar wasn't fit to start. He did start that last game against Forest Green, but we may well see him at some point, you would feel, in this second half, as Northampton Town really do need to get themselves back in this game. They trail by 2 goals to 0, and Anthony Blackhouse gets us underway in this second period, and it's Mansfield Town who are kicking towards the Northampton Town fans away to our left-hand side in this second period. A little disappointed. We've got producer Matt Gubbins here tonight, who is a Northampton Town fan, and our only instruction to him was bring the chip cobs at half-time, which apparently are legendary here, and not a sausage. Not that we wanted a sausage, we wanted the chip cobs, obviously.
He's obviously just so disgusted with what's happened in the first half that he's lost his appetite and feels that we should feel his pain. But I still think you mentioned Josh Appiah there.
Oh, here's a chance maybe for Mansfield Town to break. His possession's given away down this left-hand side. Lovely ball slipped in towards Oates, but there was just too much on it from Stephen Quinn. They had a decent break on the two of them down this left-hand side, but just the final pass wasn't good enough.
We keep talking about that transition. Every time Mansfield turn it over quickly, there's holes in this Northampton defence. Really good run from Quinn, and he just felt if he could pull that ball, a yard and a half back, then Oates can get onto it and finish it, but it was too close to Maxted. Good goalkeeping, but that was a big opportunity. As I say, I think if they get the third, they put this side to bed. But
I don't like picking on people, but it was Joseph Mills again who the gap is always down the side.
Yeah, and he's lost it, and there's a big gaping hole, and they run through it, and it's really hard. And these are big centre halves in Guthrie and Horsfall, but they don't want to be dragged into these wide areas. They don't want that to happen. But Josh Appiah, can he give them half an hour? Because you just feel they're missing his sort of play.
Well, if you would think if he's on the bench, he must have at least half an hour, and then surely.
Yeah, otherwise it could be too late. It could be resting an injury for a second leg that you're out of, and then you're not protecting for anything. So sometimes you look at risk and reward. Of course, at certain games you don't want to do that, and we don't know how bad he is. But as you say, he's made the bench. So he made the bench. Can you go out there, son, and give us something?
Here's Guthrie. 2 goals in his last 5 games. Boy, would Northampton Town like one from him now, and his long ball through towards Pinnock at the edge of the penalty area, and he just got the faintest of touches on it, and Bishop's able to gather, but he's furious with himself for not doing better.
Yeah, because it's a really hard run to mark when they run from deep like that, but because Bishop has these aggressive starting positions.
Also a lovely touch there by Oates. Oates is away now inside the penalty area on his right foot. Oates again, deflection, and Maxted makes a brilliant save. And it's away and out for a throw-in on this near side.
Well, so Pinnock inches away. If he gets more of a connection on it, maybe he lobs Bishop. Then the other end again. Oates makes himself. But you said it took a deflection, didn't it? And that makes that save even harder. And a really, really good strong hand from Maxted.
Volleyed in by McLaughlin high into the night sky here, as it's taken down brilliantly by Bowery. Bowery tries to get the shot away, keeps it in, and then pulls it back, and it's gathered comfortably this time by Maxted at the edge of his 6-yard box. But every time they're in and around the penalty area, they look like they're about to score a goal, Mansfield.
Yeah, because they put balls into dangerous areas, they've got bodies in dangerous areas, and then they show that composure. But again, there's a few players on this pitch, and you're thinking, if their team don't go to League One, will they still stay in League Two? Because I think some of them look like Reece Oates again. He's been excellent tonight.
Quick, call the agent. Away to our right-hand side. It's going to be Bishop again from the edge of his penalty area, and he launches that forward. Just for a moment looked like he was going to get caught that time by Pinnock. It's away by Mills. It's headed clear by Hawkins. Midway inside the Northampton Town half, and it's comfortably picked up that time by Murphy, who combines with Maris. Maris now gives it back to Hawkins inside his own half. Now on the right-hand side is John Joe O'Toole as the home fans start again, and Matty Longstaff is dispossessed. The referee's happy with the challenge. He's not happy with the second one though, and that may be the first booking for Mansfield Town, and it is, and it's going the way of Maris.
Yeah, he's hurt Hoskins there. I think the other challenge was a really good challenge because there was no complaints from Longstaff. And Maris there, he's taken one for the team, and all he's tried to do is stop the play, and he feels bad here because he's hurt his, he's hurt the Hoskins there. It's a bad one, and he didn't want to do that. He wasn't looking to do that, and that's why he feels bad, because you know, as a fellow professional, you don't want to do those things. It was just a genuine one. I've lost the ball there. They're going to hurt us in a deep, in a dangerous position. But it looks, really, really sore. Hopefully for Northampton and for Hoskins, he can continue, because he was excellent against Barrow, and he's the sort of player that can just get in those pockets, his set-piece delivery, but also the way he can get in the pockets and make things happen. But just, I think it's his ankle there. He's getting his right ankle.
He scored 4 goals in his last 4 games, but 4 assists as well. He's been, in the last 5, he's been absolutely fantastic. And again, alongside McWilliams, was probably the brightest spark within that Northampton side in the only 45 minutes, but he looks in some real discomfort on that far side. It's about 10-15 yards inside the Mansfield Town half. We've had 5 minutes of the second period, and it's been more of the same so far, really. Mansfield Town with a couple of scary opportunities that have had some fear in the Cobblers fans away to our left-hand side in that penalty area. He's up and about though. He looks like he's all right to continue, which is good news for Northampton Town. They trail by 2-0 here at the One Call Stadium to Mansfield Town, but they earn a free kick here with Pinnock and that left foot of his. And they've got the big men forward. Remember, 26 goals from set pieces. They are so good. They had kept 9 clean sheets away this season as well, the best in League 2, but that's been scuppered tonight. Left-footed, Pinnock swings that one towards the back post. It's punched away well by Nathan Bishop to the edge of the penalty area. Back in by Joseph Mills, and now maybe Oates is going to try and capitalise, but McWilliams is there and combines with Sowerby, and the pressure is on Kawicki, and he'll go back to Maxted, who will launch it forward, really spinning in the air as the sun set around us here in Mansfield. Lovely header forward towards Pinnock, that time again by Sowerby, and the game of head tennis continues. Mr. Kawicki is involved once more. It's picked up in the end by McWilliams, and now forward will come Fraser Horsfield, but he's given it away. Not too many forward this time for Mansfield though, but Oates will go alone, and then he'll get it back once more from Murphy. Oates on his left foot, cuts him towards the edge of the box, but it's well defended this time again by McWilliams. But Mansfield will pick it up on halfway, and here's an opportunity for Kanu. He's forced back, and it's given by Horsfield once more for Maxted away to our left-hand side. 7 minutes gone in the second half here on TalkSport 2. Mansfield Town leading by 2-0. And Northampton Town desperate to get back in this game as O'Toole wins a header 7 or 8 yards outside his own penalty area for Mansfield. Here's Northampton Town in possession with Sowerby out wide to the left-hand side. Garner chips the ball forward towards the edge of the penalty area, and chasing that one down on that left-hand side. He looks okay as Hoskins. Hoskins on his right foot does bend one, and it's not far wide of the left-hand upright of Nathan Bishop. And Hoskins, as we were just saying, in terrific form with 4 goals in his last 4 games, and he was not far away.
Yeah, it was a really, really good effort, and you can see that Bishop, he got his feet going, he flew after it full length, and he's thinking, is that far net going to bulge, that side netting, but it's just wide. Good play from Hoskins, because he comes in off that left-hand side with his right foot, and he just turns, he knows where the goal is, but he just couldn't quite make it come back enough. I think McWilliams has been absolutely top draw for Northampton.
Well, that's a lovely knockdown. Here's Oates at the edge of the penalty area. Good defending required by Horsfall that time, and the free kick is given away by Oates in the left-back position on that far side, and Mansfield Town concede the free kick to Northampton Town, the visitors. You're right, McWilliams has been excellent.
Yeah.
My worry about Hoskins there, he just suffered that tackle. He's not moving freely.
No.
There's no he looks in quite a bit of discomfort, but I think it's one of those where his team needs him right now and they need a goal.
Yeah, I think they just have to leave him on and say, look, do what you can for us. Maybe other people have to do your running for you, but still, like, if you can get in those pockets like you did there, make something happen with a little threaded pass, a shot, a set piece. But yeah, he's definitely hurt there.
On that far side, it breaks to Apparai, but the foul is conceded. It's Northampton Town again. We're getting into a dangerous position. Silly free kick to give away, though. 9 minutes played in the second half.
Hawkins as well. Whenever I see him, I saw him for Portsmouth as well, and he looks a real handful up front, but he's really good, isn't he, defensively? He gets in good positions, he reads the game well. What is he? You say he's 6'4". I think when I've met him, I think he's even bigger than me. I think, honestly, I think he's about 6'6". Is
anyone bigger than you?
Trust me. Yeah, I think he's about 6'5", 6'6". He's a big, big boy, but he's won a lot of headers. He's been excellent.
He's also picked up 14 yellow cards this season. They are in the top 5 most ill-disciplined teams in League 2, these two. So if it does stay 11-11, it will be a pretty decent effort. As I mentioned, that Northampton Town have had a couple sent off in this fixture in 2 of the last 3 games. So watch out, there's a couple of yellow cards having done the rounds. Hoskins goes up to try and win that on the far side, but he's one of the smallest players on the field, and it was a leap, but it was a leap that was in vain. John Joe O'Toole has been excellent as well here for Mansfield as he gets that one forward, and the charge down from Bowery as the attempted clearance from Guthrie clatters into him and then runs behind for a goal kick to the visitors. And I think we are going to see a change here, and it's Appia who is going to come on, and or is it going to be Hoskins? No, they are going to take off Kanu, so the feeling is that Hoskins can continue for the moment. well, you said half an hour, he's actually going to get 35 minutes here, Appiah.
Yeah, and he's got to, because it's needs must, and he's that sort of player that can change a game. And they haven't got back into the game. They've had the one glimpse, but all in all, Nathan Bishop, he's had to punch one ball clear. He hasn't been tested. You talk about red cards. I saw Lapsley, got a straight red at Forest Green when I was at that game. I saw that live. But I'm not surprised Appiah's come on and see what he can do, and can he create something for Northampton, because they need that goal.
On loan, of course, from Leicester, a youngster, and here he is, not actually made up appearance for the first team yet at the King Power. Possession on the far side. Kawicki has got some support here. Now the right-footed one from Hoskins is coming in, and if I was the target inside the penalty area, Hoskins will pick it up again on halfway on the far side for Northampton Town. And those claret shirts, white shorts and claret socks, playing from left to right in this second half. 11 and a half minutes gone in that second period. They still trail 2-0. Here is Sowerby. Gets it forward again to Kawicki on that far side. Little pull of the shirt there from Hoskins as he just tugs back on Bowery. Here they come though, charging forward again. Here's the substitute, Josh Felix Appiah. And it's back once more away to our right hand side with the safe hands of Nathan Bishop. He launches it forward and just comfortably picked up by Maris. No one around him, and it gives him time to set Oates away down that right-hand side. And the ball just runs out of play for a throw to Northampton Town.
Yeah, Oates has been really good. He's a real outlet, and it's amazing how deep Bowery goes at times to help his team defensively. Just feel there's been a few moments when Mansfield have been a little bit deeper than they were in the first half, and there's that slightly bigger distances between the units from defence, midfield to attack. But they'll want to maybe just get that intensity back up. But all in all, I just feel that Northampton just need that more composure, that bit more quality. Can they try and get into Pinnock in that 10 role? Appiah he's not really threatened, he's worked hard, but they just need to create something. And then the Northampton fans are trying to lift their team a little, because the players aren't lifting the fans.
Well, they've won the playoffs twice. On each occasion it was all about moving out of League 2 up into League 1. Only Blackpool have won it 3 times, so there's an opportunity to equal their record. And as things stand at the moment, admittedly we're not even halfway through this tie, they do find themselves in a spot of bother here. And that's going to be a goal kick for Mansfield away to our right hand side. We've had 13 minutes of the second half on TalkSport 2. It remains Mansfield Town 2, Northampton Town 0. Reminder tomorrow for you, live Premier League football across the TalkSport network on TalkSport from 12. We've got coverage of Spurs against Burnley with Kai Tilsley and Scott Minto. That's followed by Leeds against Brighton with Ian Danter and Mickey Gray, your commentary team for that. Both those games exclusively live to national radio, with updates as well from West Ham against Man City and Wolves against Norwich, while Villa against Crystal Palace is live and exclusive on the TalkSport app. If you don't have the app yet, just download it and swipe across for the live games near the bottom. At the same time as that, of course, we've got the playoff game between Swindon and Port Vale. That's on TalkSport 2 from 12, and also that's followed by the Women's FA Cup final. Here's a change. Matty Longstaff is the player that's gone off, and he's been replaced by Kieran Wallace. Interesting change for Mansfield. Yeah,
I'm watching Longstaff walk around, doesn't look injured. I can't think of an incident where he was injured. So again, is there something we don't know? Is he carrying a little niggle? And they said, you get an hour and the sports scientist, but I can't imagine Nigel Clough being ran by sports scientists. So maybe it's a tactical one. Let's see why. But Wallace is coming into that midfield.
Here comes Mansfield again, and it's Wallace who immediately gets it forward to Quinn. Quinn tries to slip it through to Oates, who's fighting hard. I mean, he's a real old-fashioned centre forward, isn't he? Really fighting with tussling with his defender to try and win possession. They've won a throw, and Oates is back up, and he's got it inside the penalty area. It comes back to Murphy. Murphy then plays it square to the edge of the penalty area to Quinn. Ball touch from him, given possession away. Now Pinnock always caught late by Peach. That's a nasty one. The referee says play on, and it's because Appiah's got it down that far side, edge of the penalty area. Looks to get the shot away, does he? No, he gets it into the feet of Kawicki, who does get the shot and scores a goal. Ali Kawicki has scored for Northampton Town. It's a lifeline in this game. It's his first goal of the season, and away to our left-hand side, but the limbs are flying in that Northampton Town end. At the same time, I think the referee's going to come and book Peach here for that challenge, but Kowicki has got Northampton Town back in this game. It's Mansfield 2, Northampton 1.
Yeah, brilliant advantage from the referee, because Perch's foul on Pinnock, he could easily have, called for the free kick, played the advantage, then they cut him from the left-hand side of Bray, bodies flooding back, yellow and blue shirts flooding back, but credit the fullback there for getting up there, Kowicki, and it's a good finish, isn't it? And it's gone quite central, but I think because he's come back inside and Bishop's maybe still not quite set, beaten down low to his right, and we said the next goal in this tie was huge. Game on, tie on.
It was almost in slow motion, wasn't it? His first league goal of the season for Kowicki, and what a time to score it for Northampton Town, to put them back into a game that, well, frankly, they hadn't looked like coming back into at all. And just past the hour mark as well, and now there's just a little shift in the mood and the atmosphere around the One Call Stadium.
But I don't get how he was there, because he's a left back, but he was sort of in the central area, but like more than right. I'm not sure exactly how he ended up there, because you're watching the pace and the break, the counter attack. It was a really good counter, but a good finish. They say he wasn't drilled in the bottom, and he wasn't right in the corner.
It was almost in slow motion, yeah, as it found its way into the back of the net. It's first goal for the club for Kowicki. 43rd appearance of the campaign, 68th appearance in total when he finally gets off the mark.
What a time, mate, to do it.
And joined from Bristol Rovers, and now away down that far side again. Just didn't quite manage to fall that time for Sam Hoskins. So him and Pinnock trying to combine. Kowicki's got a lease of life now. Pinnock's brought down again inside the penalty area, trying to go through this Apparai, and it's had a play for a throw to Mansfield on the far side. Apparai is in pieces in the penalty area, and the referee in the meantime has given the throw on the far side, and is getting plenty from the Northampton Town players.
Definitely not a foul. Really well read from Hawkins. He comes across, but you just feel the momentum changes. Goals change games. It's the oldest saying. They change games. Now listen to those Northampton fans. They had been trying to lift their team. They got a reaction from the sides. Now the Mansfield fans are trying to lift their team. And we say there's some experienced players on that pitch who for Mansfield. They'll need to just steady it now, because this Northampton team, again, you saw the bodies committed forward, and if they could get it back to 2-2, wow, what amazing feeling that would be for them. But I just felt that Mansfield had started sitting a little bit deeper, had invited a little bit of pressure. Still be interested to see why Longstaff went off.
The stats will bear it out. Possession-wise, it's been Northampton's game, which seems quite strange, really, in the grand scheme. I mean, Longstaff has been quiet tonight, hasn't he? He's not been that bundle of energy throughout the game that you expect. I wasn't sure whether a yellow card did get shown in the end to Peach for that challenge on Pinnock. The goal obviously followed, but I'm not sure whether a yellow card was shown. I don't think it was in the end for Perch. Well, down that right-hand side, here come Mansfield on the attack.
Yeah. Surely there was, because it was a really cynical challenge.
It was horrendous, yeah.
But James Perch, I mean, he's that old. I used to play against Perch, I think, when he was at Forest, so he's certainly a veteran. I always see him after games, because he fractured his skull this season. It was a really bad injury. He's playing with a headband. He's a lovely guy, a great pro. I know the lads in the dressing room really respect him, and you always see him after the game with his lovely kids and family outside.
Over 500 league appearances. Yeah. He's been 36 now.
Forest, Newcastle, really good career.
And there was a foul down this right-hand side, and it's on Josh Felix Appiah, and we're going to see a card here. That's the question. The referee is trying to be persuaded here, I think, by Mills that it should be a booking, and actually Mills and Hoskins are having the talking to from the referee in this instance. Free kick is about 25-30 yards out from goal, level with the right edge of the penalty area on this near touchline. And that's a stern word from the ref, that's for sure.
Do you think that's from the challenge earlier? Why has it gone down? What's happened here? Is it off the ball, or do you think that's a challenge?
I think Jack Sowerby's got a problem Looks like it's probably a muscle problem. But that free kick's been moved about 10 yards back, so I'll take that back from 30 yards. It's now about 35 to 38 yards, you would say.
But this is the sort of area for Northampton, Hoskins, Pinnock over the ball, that they'll want to deliver from, because it's just, I think some of the free kicks have been a bit too central. This one, with it being a bit wider, just a few yards wider than the 18-yard line, it's going to be Hoskins. He'll be able to whip that into that second 6-yard box, in around between penalty spot and 6-yard line, and be a really difficult ball.
It wasn't Sabi that was down, it was Aparai. I think from that clash in the penalty area, he's coming off, and he's going to be replaced by Danny Rose, of course, who comes on. He joins Northampton Town from Mansfield in October 2020. No great surprise, that's what the Blues are for. 38 goals in his 141 league appearances.
You know what's coming then.
You absolutely know what's coming. Pinnock swings that one in towards the back post. Bishop does brilliantly edge of the 6-yard box. That's a great take, because he was surrounded by the very forceful presence of Guthrie and Horsfall, who were desperate to get on the end of that free kick.
Yeah, and that's what you need, your goalkeeper, to protect the space as well as the goal. And Pinnock came back onto the ball, and it was his in-swinging ball, but because Mansfield held the line well, gave Bishop moved to working great take.
Not very too much. Danny Rose's only goal so far was scored in September. The only one he scored this season for Northampton Town, who have possession here with Mills, and now it's Mansfield that are making the mistakes. Mills out wide down this right hand side, the ball drilled across by McWilliams, and that's really, really good defending by McLaughlin, who rather than getting out for a corner, it's gone out for a throw. But with what Pinnock's got in his artillery, it's not a bad throw to have right by the corner flag.
Yeah, you know, that looping ball's going to come in again. It was mad how many balls Quinn has headed clear from these set pieces. He's going to have to do it again. I thought he's beaten too easily there, but you just feel that the momentum is with Northampton at the moment.
They'll be looking for Guthrie and Forthall, you'd have thought. Back in that time by Mills towards the back post. It's headed clear at the edge of the 6-yard box, and Mills again will get it back to the goal scorer Karicki on halfway. 2-1 to Mansfield. Chipped towards the edge of the penalty area, nodded down by O'Toole, and away this time by Perch, up to halfway. Bowie's trying to get on the end of it, but Karicki's going to get there first and drive it forward down that left-hand side for Northampton Town. Into space, he tries to find a pie at the edge of the penalty area. Then he commits the foul, and it's a free kick for the challenge on Maris, and a chance for Mansfield to clear their lines. We're beyond the midway point in the second half. It's Mansfield Town 2, Northampton Town 1, and you are listening to Mansfield against Northampton Town in the League 2 playoffs, live on TalkSport 2 with McDonald's Fun Football. Search McDonald's Fun Football to find out more. Bishop with a free kick, 7 or 8 yards outside his own penalty area. And Mansfield do just need to calm the game down, don't they?
Yeah, he's taking his time over that, because as a player you feel it on the pitch, you know when it's coming at you. So as a goalkeeper there, you can go and take your time, slow the whole game down. They just need to get a foothold back in this game. But this is a Northampton side that we're minutes away from being promoted automatically, so we shouldn't be surprised that they're absolutely taking the game now to Mansfield, and sensing that from being, you know, in a very perilous position, getting right back into this time, believe that he can get that equaliser.
Well, they had failed to score in only one of the last 6 away from home. They've been pretty decent on the road in the last set of fixtures in League 2, so it's no great surprise that they found the back of the net this evening. And actually, if it finished like this, I would say it's fairly beautifully poised heading into that second leg, which of course we will have live for you on Wednesday night here on TalkSport 2. The TalkSport Network, the only place you can hear all of the playoff games, because we are your home of the EFL. We're with you throughout the entire season, of course, the length and breadth of the country across the divisions. Now, there's a chance maybe for Murphy for Mansfield towards the edge of the penalty area. Here's Quinn, edge of the box. Murphy again gets it back, chips the ball in, looking for Oates, who tries to flick it on, but the offside flag is up at the edge of the penalty area, and a chance to clear lines. As I mentioned, we have got plenty of live football during the week. We've got Huddersfield versus Luton, the second leg of that game, poised at 1-1 on Monday night on TalkSport. On Tuesday night, Nottingham Forest against Sheffield United. That late goal for Sheffield United, keeping that tie alive today. Forest leading that one 2-1. That's on Tuesday night on TalkSport. Second leg of this tie on Wednesday night is on TalkSport 2, as is the second leg of Port Vale against Swindon on Thursday night. That is on TalkSport 2 as well. Of course, I would tell you the score of that one, but the first leg is tomorrow lunchtime at midday, and that, I think, promises to be a belter, because they are two teams who want to score goals and play attacking football. Swindon, the highest scorers in the division, and actually in the last 2 years the highest scorers for the team that have ended up getting promoted. Maybe that's a good sign for them. Down this left-hand side, Mansfield with McLaughlin. It's a poor ball, out of play, throw in on halfway to Northampton Town. 20 minutes remaining. Can they get an equaliser in this game? I just feel like there's another goal. There's one more goal in this game at the very least. Yeah,
it feels that way. It's been a really, really good game, two committed sides, but just don't understand why Mansfield have just stopped doing what they were doing.
The next goal, obviously every goal is huge, but in this tie, it could be defining, really.
Yeah, massive.
Down this left-hand side, Stephen McLaughlin for Mansfield is going to take the throw. 44th appearance of the campaign for him at left-back for Mansfield. What a ball that's ended up being. I'm not sure he did, but he's managed to pick out Bowery on the right-hand side with the most sumptuous crossfield volleyed pass. Kawicki on that far side, the scorer of the Northampton Town goal, just does well defensively now. That goal seems to have given him a little lift as well, as he shepherded out of play under pressure from Bowery. And we're into the last 18 and a half minutes of this game. 2-1 Mansfield lead. Reminder earlier on today, it did finish 2-1 to Nottingham Forest at Bramall Lane against Sheffield United in the first leg of that championship playoff. And at Wembley, the FA Cup went the way of Liverpool. Second leg of the potential quadruple is theirs, with a 6-5 penalty win against Chelsea. 2 cup finals, 2 0-0s and 2 penalty wins for Liverpool this season. Throw in for Northampton Town men's right-hand side. They did feign to take it quickly, did Danny Rose, but the plan was clearly always to leave it for Mitchell Pinnock to launch it inside the Mansfield penalty area. Just down below us, Pinnock with this throw then. He's gone right towards the penalty spot this time, but maybe 4 or 5 yards away from it. Mills gets it down. Pinnock will look to try and volley it in as he skips down this right-hand touchline. That's well cleared by McLaughlin into the darkening night sky here at Mansfield. And the throw-in is on halfway. And every time they're trying to gain 10-15 yards here, Northampton Town. And it's Mills who will take the throw. 50th appearance today for Northampton Town, wearing the number 23, and he's going to look to launch it down this right-hand side. He's not got a bad throw on him either. The flick was from Danny Rose, but it went nowhere. Bowery picks up possession midway inside his own half here for Mansfield Town, and the yellow and blue shirts will storm forward, long one over the top for Oates to try and chase onto. He's done a lot of running tonight. He's starting to look a little leggy as he chased after that one, but they have a throw on that far side, and we have 17 minutes left, Matt Murray.
Yeah, he's worked hard, and I'm looking at Aikens maybe on the bench, who can play in so many positions. He's very versatile, and with his experience and his physical presence, maybe he could be one that they bring off the bench, because you say Oates has been at the heart of everything, but now Mansfield are struggling to get up the pitch, struggling to have that platform like they did before, certainly since the goal. I just feel maybe Nigel will go to his bench again.
They have themselves a throw on the right-hand side here, level with the edge of the penalty area, and it will be taken by James Perch. Confirmation that Perch did get a yellow card earlier for that challenge just prior to the goal. And this one's going to be launched forward. Perch goes short instead to Maris. Perch gives it back to Maris and didn't quite run out of play. It looked like it might. O'Toole launches it forward, and that's just going to spin out of play. And that's probably an example of it, isn't it? They were very controlled earlier, but now just everything seems a little bit more of a panic.
Yeah, a little bit forced, a little bit rushed, but I feel that Northampton have really lifted up their intensity level, so it's now they're the ones getting the press right. Even little things like that Mansfield weren't able to work the throw in at all. They're getting pressure on the centre halves and O'Toole, and that's having to force balls forward. Northampton have been excellent.
Just under 7,500 here down this right-hand side. That's a dink ball in from Rose, looking to try and find Pinnock inside the penalty area. Couldn't find him, and it's going to be volleyed clear again by McLaughlin. It's taken down that time by Oates, but couldn't keep control of it, and it's shepherded by Guthrie. Maxted first time, clears, launches it forward, over halfway, right deep inside the Mansfield territory, and again McLaughlin has just volleyed it into touch on this near side out for a throw. All very scrappy from the home side. They have a 2-1 lead right now with 15 minutes remaining, but Northampton Town are definitely the better team. As the listeners to Talk Sport join us here at the One Call Stadium in Mansfield, where Mansfield, having had that 2-goal lead at half-time, have been pegged back here. They took the lead early on from Oates. A second was added from Bowery in a dominant first half, really. But they've been pegged back in the second period, just past the hour mark. The goal coming from Ali Karicki of Northampton Town, his first for the club. And at the moment, they're on top, even though they trail by 2-1. We've got about 15 minutes or so remaining. Matt Murray is alongside me as Mills hits a shot for Northampton Town. It's well wide of the right-hand upright. The former Wolves keeper, Matt Murray, is here. And at this moment in time, Mansfield, who were the better side throughout much of the game, are very much on the back foot.
Yeah, you felt that even though Northampton had maybe more possession, it was Mansfield who always looked like the team that were going to go and extend their lead, go on and get another goal. Then McLaughlin bombing forward, and Reece Oates looked excellent. But since they conceded, then it's just not all been Northampton long throws into the box, dangerous positions, and Mansfield have struggled to get any sustained possession ever since then. I just feel maybe they need to make a change, bring on, say, likes of Aikens, get back into this game. But it's very, very finely poised. But you do feel there's going to be another big chance and another goal in this tie.
And it will be a crucial goal as well. It may only be the first leg, but you feel the next goal could have such a massive impact on this game. We've got about 13 and a half minutes remaining here at the One Call Stadium in Mansfield. Mansfield leading Northampton Town by 2-1. Commentary continues right now on Talk Sport 2. Substitution down below. Another change. There's the throw-ins making, and we've got Ryan Stirk, who's on for Mansfield Town now in another change, and he's come on into that midfield just to again try and add a little bit more bite in there.
Yeah, Stephen Quinn had been excellent. He'd worked hard, but Stirk, he just thought, they thought bring Stirk on, just give that energy, try and maybe that can be that platform. But that's not a great start from the young lad coming on.
And loan from Birmingham City, Ryan Stirk, as he enters the fray. Here's Rose down the right-hand side, trying to get the crossover. It's blocked out for a throw right by the corner flag again down this right-hand side for Northampton Town. Pinnock will go across. Pinnock must do many, many extra yards just to every time go and get on the end of one of these throws. He's going to launch this in down this right-hand side. 12 and a half minutes remaining here on Talk Sport 2, your home of the EFL. 2-1. Mansfield lead. Pinnock launches it in for a rare flick on that Northampton Town have managed. Hoskins with a shot. It's blocked at the edge of the 6-yard box. And it's just over the top of the bar. It would have been an own goal off McLaughlin. Hoskins' original shot was blocked, and then the ball flew around, and then it's over the top of the bar. Bishop could have done nothing about that if that had gone in.
Yeah, a little bit of luck there, but it's all havoc from the long throw coming in, ball dropping down, Mansfield putting bodies on the line, last ditch defending. As you say, that deflection could have gone anywhere, but now it's going to be another corner whipped in. You can hear these Northampton fans, they feel it, they can sense it. It just feels a little bit tense, doesn't it, with the home fans. They know their side's under pressure, need to weather this storm.
Hoskins is going to deliver from that far side. Referee having worse. There's lots of grappling and grabbing around the edge of that 6-yard box going on right now. Hoskins does swing that to the edge of the 6-yard box, bounces down and just to the left of Bishop's left-hand post. Well, there were 3 or 4 bodies in there. There were shirts being pulled all over the place. I'm not too sure. I think it may well have been Fraser Horsfall who got the final deflection, but that was inches away from the equaliser.
Yeah, I was trying to work out who did that come off. You can see shirts being stretched, and 6 at one, half a dozen the other. Everyone thinking, the Northampton players thinking, let me get a contact on it. The Mansfield guys thinking, my man is not getting a clear contact on this, and it just went harmlessly wide from a Mansfield point of view. But you just feel like the Northampton are just knocking at that door, putting that pressure on. And you can see they've got that belief. They just keep turning them like they are again. Now winning set pieces.
Oh, O'Toole's missed it. Here's a chance for Rose. Maybe he gets the byline, cuts it back off. What a bit of defending. It was O'Toole who got in there and saved it. It was his error in the first place, but he made amends as right at the edge of the 6-yard box. The finish from Pinnock was about to be applied, and O'Toole gets it behind for a corner.
Yeah, Rose, you said a former player, and you think he was going to get that chance, but O'Toole, brilliant defending, but it's another corner's going to be whipped in. It's just attack after attack. They are relentless at the moment, Northampton.
Hoskins from the far side, right-footed, swung to the edge of the 6-yard box. Bishop comes for it, but it was Perch that got the header away. Edge of the penalty area, it comes down and almost breaks to Lewis. Now there's a counter on here for Mansfield. Down this left-hand side, Maris has not got the pace for it, and Pinnock just steps inside after a bit of poor control and gives it back to Maxted, who launches it forward first time on that far side. It's Perch gets the header away. Hoskins goes up to try and collect on that far side. He battles hard and he's penalised for it. And it's a free kick for Mansfield Town with 10 minutes remaining.
Yeah, Bowery's done well again there just to win a free kick for his side, get his body in the way. Hoskins looks like he's run off that knock now. I think he's doing well, he's getting on it again, but Northampton are just getting the ball and turning this Mansfield defensive quality. They're getting bodies at the pitch, people in behind them, and you just feel like they really are in the ascendancy.
7,469 is the confirmed attendance, with 1,221 Cobblers fans away to our left-hand side. And at this moment in time, they'll be the happier. They may be 2-1 down, but their team are on top and creating opportunities. They've got defending to do here, though, as Oates goes across. Really well defended that time by Horsfall. Out for a throw, though, to Mansfield Town on this left-hand side. And again, Murphy was trying to stride forward and gain about 10-15 yards, but it's left for McLaughlin. We're into the final 10 minutes. In fact, only 8.5 plus added time to go here on TalkSport 2. It's 2-1 to Mansfield Town. Throw down this left-hand side to be taken by McLaughlin. He's 30 yards from goal. Gets it down the touchline. It's controlled and the left-footed ball is swung in but straight out of play. Not the best of deliveries that time by Ryan Sturck, who's claiming, look, I'm not that bad. It took a deflection, but the referee's having none of it.
I was going to say, the way the ball went behind, I thought it was going to be a corner, and he seems adamant. And sometimes when a player reaction is that strong, you either know it was a shocking cross and covering it, or I have to give him the benefit of the doubt. I did think it took a deflection, but the referee said no. So big kick again from Maxted. He slipped, but Maxted's done those sort of things as well. When you haven't kicked long balls for 90 minutes for a long time, again he's done well. Oh, that's a bad one, that.
Yeah, on the head of Danny Rose here. I think the challenge that time was from Hawkins. I mentioned earlier he's had 14 yellow cards. I wonder if he's going to get another one here for that challenge on Danny Rose, who is now up and about, and you can tell by the pantomime boos that it's the former Mansfield player.
Yeah, and he rolled around like he'd had his head taken off, though, and then he's had a little look and then bounced up. So Hawkins just walked away from it. It was a full-butted challenge, but another set piece. This is so much pressure, and we talked about it right in the build-up. You don't want to give away needless free kicks against us, but anyway, certainly against a side with the quality of Hawkins, Pinnock to deliver balls. Looks like it's definitely going to be Hawkins this time. The big boys are up again. So much pressure.
The right foot for Sam Hoskins to deliver. Swings it towards the back edge of the 6-yard box. There's a free header and it's over the bar, but it's out for a corner. Took a deflection, and the referee adamant it's a corner despite the protestations coming from the Mansfield defenders. Pinnock's gone over with her. I think there was a moment to say, should we play a short one? But yeah, Hoskins is having none of that.
And I've got Hoskins and Hawkins on my mind. Look, Hoskins' deliveries have been brilliant.
Right-footed, swung the edge of the 6-yard box. There's a header down. It was a free one as well. It was for Joseph Mills at the back post, and he's put it wide. Didn't really make any good contact with that at all.
Nigel Clough would have been fuming if that had gone in. How is Mills so free? Someone's not done their job, and that's sometimes what happens when you make a few substitutions, those changes. Players getting tired now, lapse of the concentration. And we said about Hoskins, his deliveries have been right on the money. They've always been in danger areas right from minute one. He's whipped that round the back. Mills will feel he should be hitting the target there. He's had a chance to see it. He's got to score.
You would think he would have done there. It was a clear opportunity. Final 6 minutes of this first leg here at the One Call Stadium. Long ball punted forward this time. It's high in the air and it's taken down by Bowery, who's another who's got a tireless shifting up front, but no sign of any changes up top for Mansfield as yet. And it's shepherded back by Horsfall to Maxted, who right-footed will play it early down this right-hand side, looking for Danny Rose, who tries to go up and win the first header. And now with the left foot down this near side, it's Sturck again, who's just punted the ball into no man's land, and the unknown Birmingham midfielder is not having the best of times since he's come on.
Yeah, you come on and you want a bit of control, and again the fans are showing a frustration because don't really see, if you are going to do that, put it out at least for throwing down in the bottom corner, and he can get up behind it and pen the team in, but all he's done is kick it out for a goal kick with no need, and now it's going to be boom, 78 yards down the pitch. Northampton try and pick up the second ball and pressure again.
Lucas Akins is coming on, over 300 appearances for Burton, of course, one of Nigel Clough's former clubs. He was picked up on a free transfer in January. He's only managed the 1 goal in his 19 appearances though, but he's going to come on for Mansfield Town just to add some fresh legs up top for the final few minutes. There's 5 remaining here on TalkSport 2, your home of the EFL, the only place you can hear all the playoff semi-finals and finals live as that ball tries to find McLaughlin on this near side, but it runs out of play, and it's going to be Jamie Murphy that comes off, and he's going to be replaced by Lucas Akins, and there's a huge round of applause for Jamie Murphy, one of the front three who have worked very hard for Mansfield Town tonight. Been a bit quiet after the first 5 or so minutes of the second half as Murphy on this near touchline.
Yeah, he's done well. He made the second goal, and I'm not surprised Akins has come on with his experience, and he's a very, very good player. He is. He would have been promoted with Burton out of this league, wouldn't he, all those years ago?
65 goals he got at Burton in his 300 appearances, so he makes a good contribution. He got 3 goals at Burton earlier in the season. His only goal coming for Mansfield Town was against Crawley. That's a chip ball over the top looking for Pinnock at the edge of the Mansfield penalty area. Here's Bowery, who's now come out on this left-hand side because Akins has gone on the right. Malice has got possession in the centre circle, gives it away to Hoskins. Hoskins chips the ball out wide to this right-hand side. Rose is going after it, really good header from Hawkins inside the penalty area to get it clear for Mansfield Town. Little slip from Bowery means that Northampton gather possession again on halfway. Just over 3 minutes remaining, plus time to be added on at the end of this first leg, of course. Mansfield leading 2-1. It's game on. The game is in the melting pot, there's no doubt about it. Heading towards that second leg, if it stays like it is, a goal for Northampton Town, and well, you'd probably make them favourites if anything. Here's Rose, 25 yards out from goal. Rose still going, he's caught that time by Hawkins. That's got to be a card for Hawkins this time round, you would feel. Immediately the referee steps in, Hawkins is walking away. Wow. He's been a friend of the referee's notebook throughout the campaign, but I think he's going to get away with one again here.
That isn't a yellow, that's crazy. And there's moments like that as well, because they then, affect the game, because he can't go and make another challenge like that. It might be a pullback that he wants to do or something like that. I can't believe he hasn't been given a yellow card there. He's jumped into it. But again, I don't like singling players out. But for me, Ryan Sturt needs to learn, because he's come on into this game and it's him who lost the ball again. And he's got to be able to get up to the speed of things, be ready to adjust to it.
Isn't that the idea of Birmingham sitting here on loan, though, is that he can learn his trade and understand? I mean, he's not booked him. Joseph Mills can't understand he's not been booked.
But yeah, young Sturt will have learned a lot from this, coming into a game like this, because Birmingham City will be saying, what's your learnings, as you say?
Pinnock's going to hit it left-footed. Well, I mean, that was from all of, 35, nearly 40 yards out, and Pinnock's just blasted that with his left boot. All the problems they've been causing in and around the penalty area, surely that was a moment to put another ball into the danger zone.
I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. As you say, that's 30 yards out. You've got an on-loan Manchester United goalkeeper, and you're trying to scream one in from there. Every time they put balls into that area, especially in the second half, they looked a threat. You got all the big boys up, put it in there, look for second balls, and again now that would just allow Mansfield to run the clock down a bit, boom the ball right up the pitch. But I don't think Mansfield have put more than 3 passes together for the last, certainly since the goal.
Well, they've got a goal kick here away to our right-hand side. We're about to enter the final minute of the 90. Last time to be added on, of course, by Anthony Blackhouse, our referee. As things stand, though, it's Mansfield Town who will take the advantage to Sixfields. That game, of course, is on Wednesday night live here on TalkSport 2, while over on TalkSport it's Rangers against Eintracht Frankfurt, live from Seville. Adrian Durham, Jim Proudfoot and Charlie Adam, the former Rangers midfielder, will bring you that. Could have, of course, been that all-British final between Rangers and West Ham, but it's Scotland versus Germany instead. Don't stick me in the ribs. I'm still sore about that. Throw down the right-hand side is forward from Perch this time. And he gets it into Akins as done well. Oh, good strength. Now he's got the ball at feet. Now he's charging through, beats 2 or 3, goes down, wants the free kick. Referee says no, but Aikens handled the ball, so surely if it's not a foul that way, it should be a free kick to Northampton Town as O'Toole nods it safely into the hands of Bishop away to our right hand side. Here comes the fourth official. It's going to be 4 added minutes at the end of this game.
It's about fair. With all the substitutions, a few potential injuries.
And that's a huge kick from Bishop. He's launched that from the edge of his own box into the box of John Maxted away to our left-hand side. He will, of course, lose his place in goal, quite rightly as well, to Liam Roberts for the second leg. After Roberts returns from suspension, that will be a massive boost to Northampton Town, who again, if it's 2-1, will probably think with Roberts back in goal and that familiarity in their back line, they'll fancy their chances for sure.
They definitely will. But in the first half, every time Mansfield went forward, they looked like a threat. They haven't tested Maxted at all. This whole second half, they've not really got into danger. He's not had a save. Oh, he had the one early on, didn't he?
One save from the deflection.
Yeah, really early on. And since then, he's not had anything to do. It's been all Northampton, and they'll believe that they are going to get one more chance.
We are a minute into the 4 that have been added by the referee. On the far side, here's Sam Hoskins. That right foot of his is about to weave its magic. Ball into the penalty area. Good header up in the air. Tries to win it a second time as Guthrie. But that's brilliant defending. Again, is that O'Toole with the challenge once more?
Brilliant.
Just superb. It's out though for a corner down this right-hand side, which Pinnock will take. We are in added time at the end of this game. Corner for Northampton Town. They trail 2-1. Looking for that equalising goal to set up that second leg all the more. Everyone's down in the penalty area, but the free kick has gone Mansfield's way. And I think it was the challenge from Sowerby that's been punished.
On Hawkins.
And it's a free kick for Mansfield Town, and no wonder John Joe O'Toole, with all that experience, is taking his time, and Bishop's being sent back in the area to say this one's around the penalty spot, my friend.
Yeah, he'll take his time. The rest saying I'm on the clock, but he's not going to rush. He's not going to rush. I still can't believe that Ollie Hawkins, when he gets a free kick, how has he not been booked? Come on.
I have no idea. No idea. But he should have been at least maybe 3 times. Here's Bishop away to our right-hand side, launches it forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Good header away, taken down this time by Mills. Comes for a handball. Appiah on this near side. Doesn't go any further. It comes to Bowery. Good ricochet. Now he'll stride away down this left-hand side. Here's Oates charging towards the edge of the penalty area. That's going to be a free kick from Mansfield, is it? No. Referee says play on. And it's cleared away from Mills, and no wonder things are being hurled on the pitch, it would appear. Someone's thrown a lolly on in disgust at that decision from the referee.
Out the pram a lot.
As Bowery's put it forward for Aikens to chase. Maxted will gather. I thought it was a foul, if I'm honest.
I thought it was a foul. He got his, he mexed him, it was a check. But to be fair, the ref has let quite a lot go, hasn't he?
Well, he has. I think Nigel Clough's quite calm down below, but we've almost had 3 minutes of the 4 that have been added. What a finish here on TalkSport 2. It's 2-1 as things stand to Mansfield Town over Northampton Town. On the far side, Quickie the goal scorer. Gives that one back to Hoskins. Hoskins infield to Sowerby. Sowerby will go out that far side against Quickie. Now Appiah was on that far touchline. Tries to go in. Aikens does brilliantly. Is there one last hurrah for Mansfield Town? Oates is chasing it down. He's putting the pressure on Guthrie. He goes down to Guthrie and the free kick's given. And all around us, they're standing up, they're waving arms. There's absolute outrage that this time he has given the free kick for the foul on Guthrie.
Guthrie got his body there, and I think it was a little pull on the shoulder. It would been interesting. You see, soft, but I can still see why he gave the foul. But if it hadn't, then Oates was through one-on-one, and surely that would have been, he'd have backed him to take it. But I can see why the referee gave the foul.
There's Mills out wide on this near side to McWilliams. Back to Mills again. Referee checks his watch in the final few seconds of the 4 added minutes. It remains 2-1 to Mansfield Town. Out there on that far side, Hoskins. They need to get a ball in quickly if they want to try and do anything, because that's the full-time whistle. Blown by referee Anthony Blackhouse. And this game is well and truly alive, courtesy of that second half goal from Ali Kawicki. His first in 68 appearances for Northampton Town. He pulled one back after Oates and Bowery had given Mansfield Town a half-time lead. And at times it looked like they were streaking away with this tie. But it's on a knife edge when these teams meet again on a Wednesday night at Sixfields. A thoroughly entertaining encounter, 3 goals in it, and it's anyone's game. come the second leg. Full time at the One Call Stadium. It's Mansfield 2, Northampton 1.